Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Danish. 3 short of Mr. Zaheer Khan's prediction for Chennai. You said they'd get 180, they got 177. They started off in great fashion and then it looks like KKR just managed to pull that back. Do you think they have enough?
I think so. And talking about prediction, I said that KKR spinners need to be respected, and that's what actually happened because they've been just backing their strength, and they've backed their strength to fullest because you've not really seen spinners bowling in those back end of the innings, and that's something which KKR really believed in, and that's something which is CSK is not used to seeing. I think they have their clear game plans, and so far in T20 format you've not seen spinners bowling in that 18, 19, 20th over, and CSK has been consistently taking the teams apart for 45, 50 runs, and you saw something different today. So I think credit to the captaincy of Dinesh, Karthik, and the management of KKR. I think in terms of setting that strategy, trying something new. I think which always is a welcome change, and I think. Having said that, I think close to 180 is a good total for CSK to be able to make the match out of it. The wicket has certainly been supporting the seamers as well. You've seen that bounce from Mavi and Mitchell Johnson as well. That there's life in the pitch for sure. So that's something which CSK bowlers will be happy to exploit the conditions. And there is a bit of help for spin as well. So it's certainly going to be a game of which team handles the pressure better. And KKR certainly has got a chance because a team like CSK, if you restrict them to 177, you'll always feel that your bowling has done a good job. Now it's about building those partnership. I think what we spoke about, getting a good start is going to be the key, and then someone like Robin Uthappa in the middle overs, if he can put up a good performance after getting a good start, then it can be a KKR's night. But they've certainly given themselves a chance to secure a win in this match.
I have to ask you this question: the decision to bowl 3 spinners, are these made on the ground or are they made when the management
they must have. They had a break before. They had a strategic break, so they must have been speaking. The other word is that Russell is not completely fit, so there's something. There's a bit wrong with him, so they probably decided not to risk him. Mavi was young, but unique, and even our statistician, everyone will be going back and saying 18th, 19th, 20th, 3 spinners, 3 spin overs, 3 different spinners. Not even just, so it's not that 2 of Narayan and 1 of this thing, it's 3 different spinners. Piyush bowled, and if you look at it, they actually got properly, 4-5 fours were hit. 1 was a bottom edge, 1 went through straight, the 6 went through this guy's hand.
Went through,
So literally you have to look at that and say there's 1 legitimate 4 in it, that's a straight drive, that the 2 legitimate 4s, one the last ball of Dhoni and the one that Jadeja hit right past the bowler. But 2 4s, legitimate 4s in the last 3 overs is fantastic from KKR. And what this pitch reminds me of is, you look at this, it's like you've got a pitch, you've told people that, boss, we are going to do a cross-country circuit, so you've bought spinners for that, and suddenly you've given the racing track. Now all your cards are all cross-country spinners. But how even they've adapted so very well. You look at it, and that's a great thing about it. This is not, he'll tell you, this is not a spinner's track. So what the KKR spinners have delivered for them is amazing.
So they're obviously going to be really happy with that. Let's just take a look at what the spinners and what the bowlers did for KKR. Some very interesting numbers there. Zach?
I think spinners are certainly standing out when you look at this bowling card. I think Narain has bowled fantastically well. 4 overs, 21 runs for 2 wickets, and those crucial wickets. I think to get Shane Watson and Raidu both out. I think they've been such a big threat. I think in this IPL as far as CSK putting up those huge totals is concerned. So he really set the game up for KKR. In those middle overs, taking those 2 crucial wickets.
Mavi was very impressive as well.
Mavi was good, and I was just thinking about it. If you look at the the scorecard of the bowlers out there, all of them, one worry would be, as I said once again, Russell where he is. But even if you see 4 for 34 that Kuldeep Yadav did, he looked dangerous. What's happening a lot with the KKR bowlers, if you see them, is they're strangling. They're not penetrating because this pitch is not suiting them. There's not a lot of turn, but because they are really smart guys, they're strangling you into making mistakes. If you see the wickets also, most of them are forced shots, they're mistakes. It's not that they've been cleanly, they've sort of completely beaten the batsman and all. Most of them have been the fact that they've just put on so much pressure that the guys have had to try to release and do something stupid. And that's a credit to them because this pitch doesn't suit them.
One thing they've done nicely in today's match for sure is that they've CSK batsmen have got start. I think if you look at the CSK batting lineup, everyone have got the start. But it's because of KKR bowlers. They stayed in the game, and they kept on implementing those processes and those plans which they've discussed. That's why they've managed to restrict CSK for 178, which is a modest total, I think. But credit has to go to the bowling unit of KKR, who has really kind of pulled things together and kept things simple and I think in spite of someone like Shane Watson getting a start or Faf du Plessis getting a start, they stuck to their processes, and that's something which is very important in this format because most of the errors happen when you succumb to pressure. Most of the errors happen when you play the name of the batsman and not the game. So I think CSK bowlers today were in the game, playing the game on the field.
43 of 25 for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. You would imagine he just took everyone apart. But he couldn't take one man apart again today. Sunil Narine. I mean, very interesting. He's not hit him for a boundary. And Sunil Narine seems like he's just back in form. Is this the Sunil Narine that you know?
Continue. No, I think just see what happened also was for some reason, Mahi knew that on the other hand, the guys, Jadeja was not hitting it. Okay. And he was not getting it. So he was not willing to take a bowler on, take unnecessary risks, because he felt that if anyone could hit those 4s and 6s of the last few overs, he could.
It had to be him.
It had to be him. So he said, look, I'll pick my battles. And it's very clearly that, it's not that Dhoni couldn't have tried to hit him, because he said, but he thought that if I get out and Jadeja is out of form and 2 new batsmen out there, they're not going to be able to do much. So if you think about it, yes, but it was also a very, very tactical decision in his part.
Yeah, I think he was expecting a seamer to come from the other end. So he wanted to save those 12 deliveries, which he was thinking that his mind always works like that. So he must be thinking, okay, seamer bowling, I can hit 3 6s, 4 6s, and still get to that 190 plus mark. So that's something which he has always been known to do. So that 18th over was in a way a very, very calculative kind of approach by Dhoni, just kind of taking a chance in those last 2, but that's where he Dinesh Karthik had come up with some different kind of tactics, which is what was interesting to see today. I think that was highlight of the day today, that someone has tried something different which has not been seen in this format. This is certainly gonna make teams think otherwise. If there is help for the spinners, why not create someone who can bowl in the death overs as well? Because you've seen one thing that fast bowlers are having a tough time, especially when they're bowling in those last 3 overs, and also batsmen are used to that. It's become like a very monotonous kind of approach, that last 3 overs, that seamers are going to go bowl at you, they're going to have a certain field. That's how batsmen are practicing, right? And they know that certain bowlers have got slower one as their strength. So what are the other deliveries which I can hit for 6s, and 6s is making the difference. Like today's game also, if you see, the real differentiator is how many 6s being hit in those last three overs. If a seamer is bowling, that 6s is being very consistently hit, and today a spinner bowl, yes, you got to have a quality spinner to do the job. That's the most important thing. But if you have a spinner who is good enough, then maybe teams will start.
They never hit a single 6
start exploring this option as well.
They got one, but that was a catch.
That was almost. Shubman Gill, I'm sure, is going to go back to the dressing room and say.
But if you compare the numbers, I think overall you will find that the maximum 6s have been hit of seamers in the last 3 overs. So from that logic, but the bottom line is the bowler has to be of that caliber. The bowler has to be, you need likes of Kuldeep Yadav and likes of Narine, who has that kind of temperament, who has that kind of ability to deliver in that pressure situation.
We've been speaking about the last 3 overs. Let's talk about the first few overs, the power play overs. Kolkata Knight Riders have had an absolutely difficult time trying to get batsmen out. In fact, they have the lowest number of wickets in the power play. Why?
I have a theory about that. One is that they are bowling the spinners there. A lot of spinners are bowling the first 6, and spinners there are not really getting purchased, so they're defensive. They're constricting. They're not able to take wickets. Okay, and that's the basic issue. Their fast bowler, premier fast bowler Stark is not there. Stark has got himself injured. He's not there. Okay, so Mitchell Johnson today is just not delivering for them. He's just not the penetrative upfront, really fast bowler. The Umesh Yadav that one team has, or the Jofra Archer somebody else has. They don't have that one guy in up front who's going to come and take wickets with the new ball. They don't really at this point in time have anyone who's exploiting the new ball. They have very good spinners, so they're not getting hit that much because the spinners are restricting them. But you can't expect them to take wickets unless the batsmen take risks. And that's the basic issue.
Interesting. Since we're talking about combinations and different sets of players, Dwayne Bravo and Jadeja, do you think Bravo should have come ahead today?
And the main focus was at that point to have left and right combination.
All right. Okay.
If you somewhere CSK also knew that they wanted KKR not to use the spinners at that stage, and they knew that KKR's strength is spin, and when you have left and right combination batting there at the wicket, captain thinks once or twice, before he's taking that kind of call, because end of the day, like if the plan of using 3 spinners in the death over has not worked out,
genius captain we all
would have been sitting here criticizing that move. But I think so CSK I think has got a set plan in terms of, and they back their players, so they certainly believe that Ravindra Jadeja can do the job at that position. Yes, Bravo is been in good form, but that's now that's not how the planning has been for the season. The planning has been keeping Ravindra Jadeja ahead of Bravo, and to be honest, someone like Dwayne Bravo has been in good form just this IPL. Leading up to this IPL, he's not been really contributing with the bat. So him contributing with the bat has been a bonus for CSK. That has not been the first plan in terms of leading up in the season.
KKR have had a great record chasing at the Eden Gardens. Do you think tonight is again going to be their night?
I think it's the first 6 overs. It really is it's a fantastic record.
Just look at this, since 2013.
It's a fantastic record. And
games.
It's not that, it's not even that CSK's bowling attack is that good a seam attack, because this is a seamer's pitch. So they have a chance definitely. The basic issue is the first 6. If they can get away to a start in the first 6, and if Robin Uthappa can fire, these are the 2 keys for them. If these happen for them, also, as I said, we'll be both very interested to see where Shubman Gill is playing. Obviously, the poor kid's head is not quite there. He started with the misfield for 4 and then that shocker of the boundary. But it'll be interesting to see where he is at. But key is their openings, those 2 openers and Robin Uthappa.
Right, let's just bring the KKR batting lineup, and Ambati Raidu in fact said the pitch is very difficult to bat on, and he said he thinks CSK has enough. Do you think this batting lineup?
I think so too. I think CSK certainly has put up a good total, and there is enough help in the Eden wicket. The wicket is supporting both actually. Seamers and spin bowlers, because the ball is stopping a bit, and there is a little bit of seam movement as well. So from that point of view, it's very important that if a batsman is set, has to carry the inning through. And that's something which was missing from CSK. That's why they ended up at 180. If someone had carried the bat through, they would have reached 200 mark. Nonetheless, I think 180 is good total in this format. You can certainly make a match out of it, and the advantage which CSK has is MS. I think MS is known to create those kind of situations, and once he gets a sniff, then he's going to stack up those overs, and he's going to get his bowlers to build that kind of pressure. So the key for KKR is to get off to a good start and build a solid platform. From there they can let their middle middle order to do the work for them.
Right.
And then from CSK's point of view, that MS will be just waiting for that, to sniff
One
that moment
opportunity to jump in.
where he can just jump in and start putting that pressure on KKR batsmen.
Also, they have one quality. I mean, really, Mitchell Johnson is looking a ghost of him in his pomp. When he was a great bowler. Right now, he's just looking very average. Went for 50. They have Ngidi, who's a genuine quick and can do a bit on the field. He's probably going to be, some very important.
I think this is the ideal wicket for him.
This is a great.
You brought out a brilliant point. I think because Ngidi, if you look at him, he's using the seam well, and it's someone who is using the seam well on this wicket will certainly have a good time bowling on this track. And someone like Shivam Mavi also, you've seen that he was hitting the seam very hard and he was getting that extra bounce. So Ngidi, I think is certainly the guy to look for, I think, in this innings.
Right, so all in all, it's going to be a fun chase. It's going to be an interesting match. We'll discuss what happens once the game is over, of course. But before we go, just quickly bringing up that joy factor question for you. Take a look very quickly. Send us your answers using hashtag CricbuzLive. That's the question.
Once again, easy question. Best strike rate for the first ever IPL 2008 belonged to Amit Mishra. Which player had the best economy rate for bowlers? And I think, as I said, Zach knows the answer, but we'll discuss it later.
All right, we'll discuss it later. Go, watch the game now and come back in 90 minutes.